Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and take a look at all the great stuff that we're sending out. And I wanted to give you a look at all of your wallets that you ordered yesterday and this morning. We'll get a closer look at everything that we're shipping out today. Let's start off here first with these two Valet Trays that have some special secrets inside. So on the left here, this is a Color 8 Chrome Excel Valet Tray that contains some Frank the Enforcers. And the first one up here, this is a beautiful piece of Amaretto Shell Cordovan. That's my favorite Shell Cordovan color. Sort of a bright, vivid, orangey tan shade. And the next one here, this is a special order. This is a Color 8 Marble Shell Cordovan, and it looks like the little middle piece there is more of the brown shade of the color range in the Color 8 Marble Shell. Take a look at all the random variation in color in this. I think that's really cool. The next one up here, this is Whiskey Shell Cordovan. Take a look at that really nice golden brown color. It's a little bit darker, more yellow, and more golden when compared to the natural Shell Cordovan. And the next one up here, this is Black Marbled Shell Cordovan. And the Black Marbled has that color range from an orangey tan to a forest green and all the ones in between. This one is particularly nice. Let's take a look at the backside as well. More of that Black Marbled Shell Cordovan. And here's another Valet Tray. This one's in the black Chrome Excel leather. And the black Chrome Excel on the Valet Tray we use is a little bit extra special. And what we've done, this is actually a mill-dyed black. So you can see all the cross sections of the leather are also black. So we call that being struck through. And then we've finished and stained the unintended side, the inside of this Valet Tray, with some black stain also, but a hard resin finish to sort of seal it off. You can see a little bit of the luster there that the resin finish is giving you. On the inside of this one, I've got a bunch of key accessories. So we have an intense blue Shell Cordovan vault key case here. I love the aqua blue tones of that intense blue shell. And it's a little bit more navy on the surface. And take a look at the cobalt blue Dublin in the back there. That's the Johnny the Fox. And I think those two colors are pretty similar, the intense blue and the cobalt blue. And here's another key case. This is the Lexington Key Case. And this one's in that Amaretto Shell Cordovan. Again, my favorite Shell Cordovan color. And here's two key fobs, and I think these turned out very nicely. Both of them are Dublin. And these are the two Dublin colors that I'm trying to have in stock all the time. This is English Tan Dublin here. And the English Tan is a nice orangey brown tan shade. It reminds me of my favorite shell color, that Amaretto Shell, but it obviously has much more grain character. So I like these little close-ups I've been doing to show you a little bit more detail on the grain character. So I love that natural character in the Dublin, and you get that because this is an aniline finished leather. There's no hard paints or anything finished onto the surface, which allows you to see through these stain coats here to that natural character. And here's the other Dublin one. This is Black Dublin with that same great grain character on the key fob. All right, let's get into some Bugs Marans, and I have 7 Bugs Marans to send out today. This one up first, this is Black Shell Cordovan. I love the sleek look on the black shell, just the way that the light bounces off of this. Sort of has this like modern futuristic look with the also in the center there, the Horween ink stamp. And the reverse side of the black shell is that greenish tan color, which looks like the wallet in the back left there. That's actually black reverse as well. Here's another Bugs Maran. This one's in natural Chrome Excel that's been personalized for RBH. And the Chrome Excel we were comparing yesterday, the natural Chrome Excel, we were comparing that to the natural Shell Cordovan. And I'm going to do it again today, not to bore you, but I think it's important to point out some of the distinguishing features of each of these leathers. So I think the biggest thing, just visually, and the two different naturals, is the color. You can see on the right, the Chrome Excel is a little bit more brown on the surface, and the pull-up color is just a little bit more of an ivory, pale, neutral color, which is very nice. And the Shell Cordovan has more of that orangey tan vibe to it. And it's a little bit more flat in color. And you can see on the Chrome Excel on the table, you can see that pull-up right down the spine. And that pull-up effect is happening because we're displacing all of the waxes and oils that have been tanned into this leather. So you can see if I run my finger just very lightly underneath this leather, you can see that it pulls up and we mobilize those waxes and greases and oils. That's what causes that pull-up effect. And on the Shell Cordovan, you don't get that at all, or at least very much. It might be very, very subtle, but there's much more of a flat color on the shell. The other difference is the Shell Cordovan is very bright and shiny, very much a mirror-like finish. Chrome Excel has more of a subtle sheen to it. And the other thing on the feel, if you grab your hand and sort of like get into it a little bit, the Chrome Excel has a really nice buttery feel. It's incredibly rich feeling. Where the Chrome Excel has a nice feel as well, it's less rich. And I think that's because the shell is just a little bit more dense than the Chrome Excel. So you don't have as much give to the leather and you can't really get your hand around those oils as easily. Let's take a closer look at the inside of both of these because they're very cool. I like the Horween ink stamp. This is basically the perfect ink stamp in the center of this one. And on the Chrome Excel, we also have that nice little piece in the center. We finished the flesh side on the Chrome Excel as well to give it a little bit more sealed off look, just like we do on those Valet Trays. And here's another Bugs Moran. This one's the Amaretto Shell. That's my favorite shell color. We also have an Amaretto Shell in the back here on the Johnny the Fox. But take a look at this one. So nicely finished. Just the natural look of this Amaretto is really cool. It has an interesting color shift. Some angles, it's a little bit more of like a vibrant orangey tan, and other angles, it turns like a little bit more of like a reddish brown, which I think is really cool. I have some more bugs to show you here. This one is Color 8 Shell Cordovan, and that Color 8 is the classic Shell Cordovan color. It's a dark brown burgundy. Take a look at that. Very nice shell here. On the inside, another nice Horween ink stamp, and we try very hard to cut that ink stamp into the center or into nice visible spots on all of our wallets. It's not easy to do. So I know we might make it look easy, but it is definitely not. So we have Color 8 on the left here, but this is Color 8 Marbled Shell Cordovan. And you might be able to see a little bit of the essence of that Color 8 shell here in the Color 8 Marbled. Sort of these darker, more burgundy spots. The way that we achieve this look, or Horween achieves this look, is they scrape away the layers of finish that have been stained onto the shell, and you get this really great visual and textural color sort of range that I think is really cool. This is a little bit more subtle than some of the other ones. Maybe it's a little bit more aggressive. I like the ones where it goes dark to light very quickly. Take a look at the inside here. More really interesting Color 8 Marbled Shell. I think that one turned out really well. And here's a custom bugs. Take a look at the inside. This is kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this combo before. Where we have the intense blue on the outside, and that is a really bright and shiny piece of blue shell. Really aqua in tones on this guy. Pretty sweet. It's really nice. But on the inside here, this is where it's a little different. So on the right side, that's actually raw Shell Cordovan, which is my favorite leather for patina right now. It's just the most dramatic change. You can see it's kind of dull to start off with, but the more this gets worn, the brighter and shiny the raw shell gets, or the more bright and shiny it gets. And on the left side here, this is actually the reverse side of the raw Shell Cordovan. So you get a little bit more grain character in the reverse shells. This will be a good demo of that. See that little bit of detail where on the shell it doesn't have that grain in it at all. But let's move on to some Johnny the Foxes here, and I guess I'll start off with my favorite shell color. This is a remarkable Johnny the Fox here in Amaretto Shell Cordovan. Take a look at that sweet piece of Amaretto Shell, and I get probably overly excited about the Amaretto shells. I just think this one is totally beautiful. So congrats, EOV. Thank you for your support. On the inside of this guy, there's a mock horsehide interior, which is like a lighter sand yellowy color at some angles. It's kind of a neutral tan, but these are custom made for us by Horween. We need thin pieces of leather for the inside of the Johnny the Fox, so we don't get extra bulk. So you can see we have all those layers of leather, but the wallet still remains quite thin. Let's take a look. Speaking of horsehide interiors, this cobalt blue Dublin is really special, and we also had this interior made specially for us. This is a cobalt blue Dublin interior, which was not easy for us to get. Horween wants to make full mills of leather, and that would be the equivalent of, you know, a few thousand wallets. So we work with them and try to figure out a way to make these special runs work, and they were able to accommodate us on the Cobalt Blue Dublin here. So this is a Johnny the Fox 100% Cobalt Blue Dublin, which is relatively recent for us. We had not been matching the insides and outsides of these wallets, so you get a great look at the Cobalt Blue Dublin on the outside. It's a little bit dark, like a navy blue, but the pull-up, the undertones of this leather are more of that really neat aqua blue. So I love the layers and the depth of color on this guy. And we have the same thing on the inside with the Cobalt Blue Dublin. Let me show you my Johnny the Fox that I've been wearing it's been 99 days, which time flies. This one is English Tan Dublin on the outside and on the inside. So this will give you a nice sense of how this wears in. Take a look at the glassy surface that has developed on this Dublin. And I've been really enjoying wearing this one and just seeing how it's changed. The other thing that you might be able to see is how it's sort of enveloped all the cards I put inside. So any veg tan leather, including this Dublin, has a natural ability to mold and form around anything you put inside. So it's been 99 days on this guy. So it's been 99 days of me wearing this Johnny the Fox. Tomorrow's going to be the last day. I'm going to try to figure out a way to do a time lapse on this one, because I've been taking photos every day to show how this is worn in. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but that might be a really cool video to see. So look forward to that coming tomorrow. And then I have a couple all reverse wallets to show you. And I really like both of these. I'm sort of getting into more of the random looks these days, things that were not intended to happen. I just am more and more intrigued by. And these are the two all reverse versions of the Johnny the Fox. And let's start off with the black all reverse. Take a look at this. All that random color and texture. To top it off, the Horween ink stamp just perfectly cut into the center of this one. I really like that. And the way that the reverse wears in, it kind of develops like the raw shell, where it will get darker, more golden brown, but it also develop more luster. So you can see it's pretty subtle to start. A little bit of a sheen to it, but nowhere near the luster of like a regular shell. See that mirror-like shine? You don't have that yet on this one, but the more you wear it, the more glassy it will become. And then take a look at the interior of this Johnny the Fox. Man, that is cool. We have all the random dye marks, and they're kind of a greenish blue. And then all the card holders are also a bit random. So some of them are a little lighter, some of them are darker, some of them are more green, some are less green. So this is a really beautiful Johnny the Fox going out today. I like how the edges look on the shell Cordovan. It looks like a piece of finished wood to me, but let's take a look at the Color 8 all reverse, because this one is also very special. I'll give you a look at the grain here. And we do get to see actual grain a lot of the times on the reverse sides of the shell. That's because this is actually the grain side of the leather, the side where the hair sticks out from the animal. That's this side. We actually get to the shell from the underside of the hide. We call that the flesh side. But take a look here. Really great randomized character on the Color 8 all reverse with the great Horween ink stamp on the interior. We have the same idea as this black all reverse in the back there. We have that same idea on the Color 8. And you see the range of color from the lighter orangey tan to the more red, a little bit more burgundy shades on the right here. And again, because this is the reverse side, we do have a bit of grain. So if you look closely there, you can see all those little bits of grain detail that are totally awesome. Let me give you a look at the edges on this. I don't talk enough about our edges. I think we do a really nice job on our edge finishing. It's got a really nice natural look that to me just looks like a piece of finished wood. So I think that's really, really cool. So thanks for checking out the video today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Got a lot of great stuff going out. So many random looks on the reverse shell that I'm excited about. But then we also have all these classic colors, like the Color 8 shell here. Still very nice. So these are also fun for me to look at. Some of the more clean looks, because I don't think these all reverse ones would look interesting if you didn't have a more subtle, clean look like the black and the color 8 shell here to compare it to. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care and have a good one.